Josie here with Emotional Wisdom, and today I want to talk about a video, a Red Table Talk episode that inspired me after watching it. It was about Ice Cube and his contract for Black Americans. On this Red Table Talk episode, they also had Vaughn Jones, I believe is his name. He's an attorney, well-known attorney, and a NFL superstar, Brandon Marshalls. They basically express and share how they are contributing to the change they wish to see in the world, especially with the Black community. I thought that was really neat because each person decided to take initiative in whatever avenue they felt called upon that spoke to them where they felt there was a void. So they, in their own lane, decided to step up to the plate and fill that void. I think it's super inspiring because many of us have desires and wishes as to how they would want the world to be, but yet they feel that the change is too big for them or too overwhelming that we collectively, or many of us, just decide to just sit with our desire and really not do anything because we feel that there's not really going to be that change. That change is not really going to be possible. The politicians and the governance system and the people of authority are too big for us to really create change within our level of position. And I would like to say that's not the truth. Especially me, I am in my calling where I know, where I feel, A, it's my passion, B, I know that I was gifted in this occupation that I am in, and it excites me. And in addition to, I feel that the area that I target is an area that is underserved. Also, there is a desperate need for this particular area of change that I'm in, the self-help community, the integrating of traumas and wounds and how to heal ourselves, the emotional body, the mind, the spirit, and how to have the spirit, I should say, more so manifest whatever was our calling in this lifetime to really play out. And also, I really believe, and I think I'm blessed to be in this position where I feel like the area that I'm tapping into is an area where we should all start first, in my personal opinion, as far as the change that we want to see in the world. I feel that it always begins with you first, with ourselves first. Why do I say this? Is because if we are wounded and we are fractured and we are traumatized, we will see the world in the eyes of those wounds, in the eyes of our traumas. Our filters will be around that. So it's not healthy, right? We will process life and see life through the lens of our past, through the lens of our triggers, through the lens of our traumas. And obviously, that is not a healthy place to be operating from. So if we choose to go inside ourselves and start integrating, first of all, start identifying what is the problem, why we keep on repeating the same pattern that gives us the same unsatisfactory, unpleasant outcomes. or whatever it may be, the triggers of emotions and the unstable of our emotions, because now our emotions control our decision making, control our everyday moves, control our lives. So obviously first identifying that, and then being courageous enough and vulnerable to go inside those wounds to create that healing / integration. And I must add, these healing and integrations that you're doing, they come in levels. So for those that have done already work and yet feel that they're not, it's a never-ending story, hang in there, because there's levels of integration, and also your method may be slightly outdated, or it may not be working for you. Everyone is different, so obviously whatever method speaks to you, you should you apply it. But if you still keep on struggling with the same trauma, or the same distress, emotional distress, or the same discomfort, then maybe you should be open-minded to look at different avenues. But coming back to the objective of the video, is that I saw this Red Table Talk episode and thought it was really awesome, because Ice Cube has ideas of how and where Black Americans should start, and what they should be demanding. As far as the attorney goes, obviously he has the legalities of how to approach that, and also the NFL superstar taps into the era where he felt there was a call for, or a void, and he felt compelled to fill it, which is, for him, voting was such a pop quiz, and it was something that he was like, where do I begin? It was super overwhelming. And it's one of those things that when we see something so overwhelming, sometimes we choose not to move forward and vote, and we don't understand it, we feel intimidated, we feel like, what's the point? Or even we don't believe in voting, we don't believe that it's going to create a change. And I think that if you're that person that wants to vote, or wants to see a change in this world, right? And you see a particular void that you want to fill in, or I should say that someone should fill in, maybe you should begin there. Maybe you should get inspired to look into those areas where you see that there's a void, where possibly you can be that change maker within your calling, wherever you feel there's a call. But to get back to the NFL superstar, when he was voting, he noticed that it was really overwhelming. He's like, where do we begin? Who are these people? And he felt the calling to shine awareness in that. How could you prepare for voting? What are the steps one can do to be prepared when they get to the voting booth, or when they receive their ballot, and how to understand the ballots and the people and the positions and the propositions to vote. I thought that was amazing, right? He experienced a sense of distress or difficulties in filling out this ballot, and he decided, you know what? I'm on the spotlight, so let me take advantage of my spotlight and educate those out there who have run into the same situation as me. Of course, I could honestly raise my hand and say I feel the same way. I felt the same way. Until this day, there's a lot of propositions and that I myself and candidates that I have no idea who they are. I try to the best of my ability to be informed, but yet it's so time consuming, right? So it can get overwhelming. Another factor that I thought that was really cool is that, let's say you have no idea who you're voting for, or who are these people, or what this particular law that they want to pass. If you have no idea what it entails, you can leave a blank, and that's okay. Many of us did not know that, right? We thought we had to complete the ballot and fill it to its entirety, but that's not the case. You can just simply vote for the president, whoever you feel is most suitable for the position, and then just leave everything else blank if you need to. But obviously, we are encouraging everyone to look into these laws and stuff. And if these laws, you see that are important for change, take initiative. And going back to feeling like maybe your vote is not going to count, or the government system or this government sector is too big for you, that what is one little vote going to do? First of all, if that's your mentality, and you choose to not take initiative in trying to, vote or even do community service or do anything of that sort to change the world or make the world a better place, because you feel like, what is one person really going to do as far as change goes? I really encourage you to revise that opinion, that idea, because at the end of the day, you are putting your full trust and your full energy into something, period. At all times, you're trusting something. What are you trusting? You're trusting, you're giving your energy, you're feeding into that reality that the government system is too big and they will always and forever control us, and we will not have a voice to really create change. So that's essentially where you are placing your full trust in. You're placing your trust in that idea, making it into more of a reality. So I encourage you to reroute that trust that you are giving in general at all times, reroute it to something that you believe in. Reroute it to that change you personally feel a call towards. Is there something that you feel you want to see a difference in? And maybe search into that, look into that and see how you can create a change. And I do want to emphasize, it doesn't even have to be super big. It starts with you first, by you educating yourself, by you informing yourself. You're already shifting and adding to that pot of that collective desire of change. You're adding your energy, you're adding already momentum into that pot of change. And then you can begin with outside of yourself. Once you graduate from outside of yourself, if you will, you could then inspire your spouse, inspire your children to look into that particular change you desire, and inspire them to just think and send their energy into that pot of change, right? And then go from there. Who knows what can transpire thereafter? Also, for example, I wanted to share an example of how that can look like, right? Something so small yet so impactful, and the synergy you can create through the process. So let's say you love reading, right? And you consider yourself a person that you like to better yourself, empower yourself, become a better version of yourself, right? And you read a lot of self-empowering books. Well, that's change that you're creating, period. Because the more you empower yourself, the more you evolve, the more you integrate, the more you heal, right? And then everyone else around you feels that. Everyone else around you gets to experience these new versions of yourself. And everyone in turn can get inspired, right? Because your energy then starts vibrating on a higher frequency, and other people around are just simply going to feel the change. That's how powerful it is. Well, you can take that to the next step and make that synergy, that energy within you, make it that much more potent through involving more people, such as your children. You can involve your children. You could involve your spouse. You could, once that happens, you could involve your friends. You can start with the book club, right? And that's not just you who's evolving and shifting and integrating and expanding and becoming a better version of yourself, but you're helping your friends become better versions of themselves. And now you have this collective energy that's creating this synergy of growth and multiplying the energy. And imagine all that going into that pot of change that we want to see in this world. So that's how simple you can contribute in seeing that change you wish to see in the world. Be creative about it. Plants I love plants. I've been into plants, and for example, I hung out with my family and did succulent arrangements, and that was beautiful and that was inspiring. And connecting with the plants and connecting with the soil, it's just it's beautiful. And through the process, have those, I would say, growth conversations. Yes, I now employ you, each and every one of you guys, to start thinking, what area have you felt a void in when it comes to the world? What area have you seen that you said, you know what, things need to change in that particular area? And if you have a calling to, or if there's a void that you see that needs to be filled, that needs to be changed, that needs to be restructured, look into that. Choose to inform yourself of how that even transpires, and then maybe involve your family, educate your family through the process of why you feel there needs to be a change in that particular sector, right, of the world, and then educate them through the process. And you never know what you can create just simply following that thread of excitement or that thread of desire for change, and create. Have fun, guys. Expand, and let's do this together. Right now, there is a major need for unity. Right now, there's too much segregation, separation, and division. And I want us to start working more like a community. I feel we're a species that we need each other. We need connection. We need community. And I employ you to create a sense of community in any way, shape, or form within the area you feel called or you see avoided. With all the love and full acceptance, Josie.